Yo, what's happening everybody? King GBL here and welcome back to a brand new Go Battle League video. Today I'm going to be showcasing one of my favourite teams from the Master Premier. We're running Excadrill in the lead. We're showcasing Excadrill today as the sort of featured Pokemon. Super fun Pokemon to use, super spammy. And I know this cup is just about to finish, so I'm going to get this uploaded as soon as possible. As soon as I record this, I'm going to upload it. Definitely try to power up Excadrill for the next time this comes around. And you're going to see why, because it just puts in an insane amount of work. We're running a Gyarados safe swap, and of course Dragonite in the back as well. Depending on what the opponent swaps into, you want to go into either Dragonite or Gyarados. In this case right here, they came in with Ursaluna, so we swapped into Dragonite because our Gyarados is actually the better counter for it. So most of all, you're going to be swapping into Gyarados as a safe swap if the opponent really beats you on the lead. But you know, it just sort of depends what the opponent comes in with. And with Ursaluna, it can actually do quite a lot of damage with the Thunder Punches and Gyarados. So, you know, it depends whatever way you want to play it. Guys, I hope you enjoyed the video. It's going to be a long one today. So sit back, relax, enjoy. Maybe just put this on in the background and just chill out. We actually had a 75% win rate with this team. So it's kind of amazing that I got this, you know, good couple of sets at the end. But unfortunate that I didn't find this team sooner because I was kind of struggling to get some teams together for this cup. I'm using Pokemon that are not fully maxed out and everything. I got very, very lucky in some of these battles. You're going to see some really weird gameplay. And you're going to see some pretty unlucky stuff as well. We're going to go through all the battles, wins and losses today. So hope you enjoy. Drop a like on the video if you do. And of course subscribe and feel free to add me as a friend on Pokemon Go. I haven't reminded you guys in a while, but if you want to submit some battles for this or the upcoming Hoenn tour, feel free to do so. There's a link in the description down below. So we managed to take this match pretty easily enough. The opponent comes back in with their Gyarados, and that's an easy win right there. I want to give you guys a little sort of heads up of something I'm planning to do quite soon. I might actually need to get a new phone because my phone's kind of not the greatest. But I'm thinking about doing some sort of tournaments, like viewer tournaments for us. Let me know if you guys would be interested in that. Drop a comment if you would like to do some like viewer battles and viewer tournaments. It's something I'm definitely considering. You can see me actually just checking out the schedule here because I don't want to burn through all my sets on Master League if I've got the Hoenn Cup coming up. So I ended up doing 4 sets right here. I'm saving an additional set for tomorrow. So big heads up, if you guys don't know that, you can actually carry over 1 set to the next day. Just open up the set, make sure you start it, and you'll get an extra set for the next day. So in this matchup right here, we had a pretty bad lead. Excadrill into Waterfall Gyarados. I always like to check out to see what they've got, because I believe it takes them about 12 Dragon Breaths to get to an Aqua Tail. So we can always get off a Rock Slide first if they're going for Dragon Breath. But of course, Waterfall just completely shreds through this. So we ended up, you know, swapping in the Gyarados, getting off a Crunch, and then of course coming in with the Excadrill to finish off the Metagross. And they've got a Waterfall Gyarados, which my Dragonite is a better answer to. And in comes Mamoswine. We've got 2 shields. The opponent has absolutely no shot right here. So this is a pretty simple one right here as well. The opponent burned their shields a little bit too early, and we're just over farming a little bit. And we'll see if we can get off a move as well. Boom. Good night. And in comes Gyarados. We get off the Dragon Claw as well. I'm just maximizing everything here. Probably unnecessary, but doesn't really make too much of a difference at this point. I think actually, does the opponent get off 2 here? I might have actually been kind of messing this up a little bit. Let's see if the opponent gets off another one. Yeah, they actually get off another one. So this is definitely probably a misplay by me. Look how much HP we've got left. And I go for the Bad Manners Drill Run, just for the memes. I survive on 1 HP, literally 1 HP. If you've got an Excadrill, you can survive 1 Aqua Tail, but of course you will need the XL, like fully maxed out XL Excadrill. I believe the opponent's Gyarados was not fully maxed out. By the way, if you guys hear the squeaking, that's my table. So if you guys hear that in the video sometimes, it's me resting my arm on the table. But pretty neutral lead right here. I don't really want to see Mamoswine against Dragonite or Gyarados here. So I'll get off that Drill Run. I actually swapped straight into my Hard Swap because I thought the opponent might want to get off a move here. And we decide to shield the Avalanche, which would do about 70% damage, and we actually get a little bit of farm as well. So the opponent potentially could have swapped out a bit sooner here, because we're putting in a lot of pressure with these Aqua Tails. And at this point, I can actually let the Rock Slide go, and I think potentially get to another Aqua Tail. The Machamp cannot farm down here, so they might have to actually double shield if they want to get Switch. They do double shield right here. So let's see, can we get to another Aqua Tail? The opponent just about farms us down. Again, that's just the sad, unfortunate part about having lower level Pokemon. I think, you know, these matchups would be a lot easier if you had like higher level Pokemon. Mamoswine just gets absolutely farmed down, and I don't know what was in the back, but the opponent did not want to see Dragonite, so good games to the opponent right there. So yeah, this team is working out pretty well. Whenever I opened up these sets for the first time today, These were actually last night after midnight. These matches were just so easy compared to some of the matches I was playing before. So it was kind of nice to get a good time in here. So here's the Dragon Breath matchup. As I was saying to you, we're just gonna get off this rock slide. I don't want to eat any Aquatails. Now I would have preferred that I would have swapped out right here, but we can do this either way. We can go for another rock slide and put the pressure on the Gyarados, see if we can get a shield back off it, or see if we can take switch. In general, you want to keep your Excadrill alive, and yes, we catch the Aquatail, which is fantastic, and we actually get the waterfall for it as well. So that's just fantastic. That's just everything is perfect right there. The opponent stays in for a little minute, and in comes another Machamp. I'm like, bro, why am I seeing Machamp suddenly? Like, what is this? Like 2 games in a row, I'm seeing Machamp. So we're going to play this similarly to last time. The opponent actually does throw a little bit quicker here. I can shield this up. It is a rock slide, so it was a good shield by me. This Aquatail should take out the Shadow Machamp, because it is a lot more glassy. Oh, actually, it doesn't take it out. Again, like, I think it would have been a lot closer to taking out if it was max level Gyarados. And we can get off the Aquatail against this Gyarados anyway. So that is absolutely no problem whatsoever. And in comes Metagross, and yeah, in comes Excadrill. We're going to get off this drill run right here. And this is actually like a little bit close. Again, I don't know if I had this maxed out, but I'd be able to almost one-shot it and farm it down. But the opponent can get off a Meteor Mash right here, and they've got a little bit more energy as well. But there should be no problem. We can live a Meteor Mash against this anyway. A Meteor Mash will probably do about 70% of our health with this kind of CP and everything. So no danger there. We can farm down with the Dragonite and get off the Dragon Claw. And yeah, GG's guys, very good. So yeah, hopping into this next match. As you can see, I'm starting off here at 21-24. I just had some really terrible sets yesterday, so we've just tanked the elo, but we're coming back up again. So coming into this next matchup, we've got Excadrill into Gyarados. I'm getting a lot of pretty bad leads here. We'll see, as a Dragon Breath, it's a Waterfall. So yeah, at least we get a couple of Mud Shots free, and we'll just go into the mirror match right here. Of course, our Dragonite being the more obvious answer, and we'll just go into the safe swap of Gyarados to hopefully align it with Dragonite later. And in comes their own Dragonite. Now, a lot of Waterfall Gyaradoses like to run Outrage, so that is something you can take into consideration. I just like having to sort of... I should have got off that Aquatail as well. I overtapped. I was trying to go for the crunch, I was trying to commit to it, but yeah, unfortunately wasn't able to get that off. I'm actually coming in with Exca here. Now, Exca can vastly outpace this Dragonite. It takes the Dragonite, and we actually catch a potential superpower, but of course it is the bait, so we have to end up eating the Dragon Claw on our own Dragonite. So very, very unfortunate there. We made a good catch, but the opponent was baiting, which is pretty predictable actually. I probably should have just no-shielded the Exca. Guys, here's a tip for you. If you're running Dragonite and you've got a matchup against Excadrill, the only sort of thing that threatens the Excadrill, if you're willing to shield it, if you're willing to go in and shields, if you've got a shield advantage or whatever, the only thing that threatens you is the actual rock slides. The Mud Shots do not do any damage, so like don't really worry that much about debuffing yourself too much. Like if you're willing just to go all shields in, I like to go straight for the superpower because I feel like the baits are a little bit risky. And the opponent usually lets them go actually, because so many Dragonites do go for the baits. So worth keeping in mind for sure. But anyway, yeah, Excadrill, it outpaces the Dragonite to the rock slides. But yeah, just unfortunately, with that pretty bad catch right there, that put us in a bad position, and yeah, unfortunately we couldn't take that match. I think I played it fine. I probably could have played it better, maybe just call a bait on the Excadrill would have been the play, but I think the opponent had us in a pretty tough position there anyway. And yeah, that's going to be a good game, GG's. So yeah, we're up to about 21-65 here, and we're hopping into the next battle here against Kip. Let's see what Kip's going to bring for us. In comes Togekiss. So I'm like, okay, nice, a very positive lead. This is exactly where you want to see it. We're going to farm up to 7 for good timing. 2-turn move into a 3-turn move, farm up to 7. 4 or 7 is good timing. And was that actually bad timing there? I think that was 4. The opponent's going to throw. And I think it's quite interesting. The Togekiss is actually staying in right here. I'm thinking, is this like an Ebi Charm or something? We farm up to 4 again, another charge move in good timing. Will the opponent let it go? No, they do not. So I'm like, okay, let me just safe swap into Gyarados here, because the opponent is trying to really like get rid of this Excadrill, and I'm feeling like there's a Metagross in the back here. So I'm like, okay, let's have a look here. So they've got a Garchomp, so okay, I go for the crunch. I think if I'm not mistaken, I think Aquatail is more efficient. So I think going for Aquatails is a little bit better. The way I was kind of looking at this is, I'll get off a Crunch and an Aquatail. Yeah, so it turned out to be the right play, but I think going straight Aquatail is better against Garchomp. and there's the Outrage. We'll come in with our Dragonite here, and the opponent swaps out into, as I predicted, a Metagross in the back. So definitely a very, very good thing for me to keep the Excadrill alive. I just thought it was so fishy that they were staying in there, and we're getting this into a range where we should be able to farm this down with Dragonite, and hopefully get off the move to secure the match. This is going to be a tough farm down. It is getting close. It is getting close, but we probably could have even just Dragon Clawed it. I'm actually not 100% sure on the counts for Garchomp, but they did throw an Outrage, so they should have been pretty sort of low in energy, but I felt like that was the best play. I was counting the opponent's moves. They get to the Meteor Mash in 7, and we were able to just farm it down and outpace it there. So GG's, good games. And yeah, that's why you got to sort of preserve your Excadrill, because there's certain matchups like Metagross, which are very tough for like Dragonite, for instance. But in comes Dragonite. We're farming up to 6 right here. So we're seeing if the opponent wants to get to their superpower, and we're swapping out for the catch on Gyarados this time. I'm not going to try to catch a Dragon Claw. As you can see, it was the Dragon Claw that time. And they come in with their own Gyarados, which I'm very happy to see right here, because this thing is the hardest answer to Excadrill. So that is a good thing about swapping into Gyarados or Dragonite. Sometimes you will draw out another Gyarados, even sometimes with a Waterfall, which it's just so hard to deal with on your Excadrill. I mean, if there's no shields, you can get off the Rock Slide before they can get off an Aqua Tail, but they'll get you down to like 30-40% health, maybe less than 30% even. So yeah, you definitely want to get rid of that Gyarados where possible. In comes the Metagross. We're just going to go straight for this right here. We're going to Superpower and dip into Excadrill. We've got 2 shields each. We outpace the Dragonite, so we can just go for this right here. The opponent threw on, I think, about 14 or 15, maybe 15 or 16 Dragon Breaths. So they have a little bit of energy, and I know that they're just going to go straight Dragon Claw. But Excadrill, it's not the bulkiest Pokemon. It's got a lot of HP, but it doesn't have a lot of defense. So yeah, we can't really tank too much on it. So I'm happy enough just to go for the Rock Slides here, shield up everything. And I'm over farming just slightly as well. Just make sure you know your counts. So the way I like to look at it is, it takes you 5 mud shots to get to your move, and it'll take them 6 mud shots to get to a Dragon Claw, and I believe 7 to get to the superpower. So just worth keeping that in mind. Yep, GG's, we take that out. We overfarm a little bit just to make sure it's comfortable, and we can easily take out the Metagross, so good games right there as well. So yeah, just knowing your counts on those matchups definitely helps a lot, and that's where I've kind of struggled this week as well. I guess I've just not really cared as much as I usually do. I always care a lot about my counts in Great League, but for some reason in Master League I'm just not as diligent in counting things. But in comes Gyarados. We had a really good lead with the Magnezone, and we've got a really good swap here as well. We can basically let anything go. Why am I shielding this actually? Oh, because it's the Outrage. That was a very good shield actually. I noticed the opponent did build up completely, so I'm like, okay, let me just build up to back-to-back superpowers here. I'll farm it all the way down. The most obvious answer is to come back in with the zone, and we'll go for back-to-back superpowers right here. Now, will the opponent shield the second one? It will still do a lot of damage. Yeah, so they actually double shield it right here. Can we even get off a third one? No. The opponent finally throws, I think it'll be a Mirror Shot right here, because we're quadruple debuffed. And we'll come back in with Excadrill. Now, this should be a Wild Charge, which will do a lot of damage. So I was kind of pissed to see that wasn't the Wild Charge, but Swarmer comes in. I'm going to farm up, see if we can catch it on the Gyarados. And, you know, they're going to have to throw Hydro Cannons anyway. But sometimes these can run Sludge Wave, which will do a little bit more damage. So I was happy enough just to build up a little bit more energy with the Excadrill, just to allow me to get off a drill run against the Magnezone when it came back in. And then obviously, just go for the farm down of all farm downs here with Gyarados, making sure that we even have some moves to pressure the Magnezone, and so that it can farm us down and get a shit ton of energy. So we're going to go for a Crunch right here again. Again, I think maybe going straight Aqua Tail would be the play here, but we get to the Aqua Tail anyway, and that's absolutely fine. If you can get off a Crunch and an Aqua Tail, it's fine, but let's say if it's an even scenario, I think just Aqua Tail is more efficient, if I'm not mistaken. Of course you can fish for the debuff, but it is what it is. Good games right there. We take out the Magnezone. We don't even need the Excadrill. Just the presence of the Excadrill was enough right there to win us that match. And let's hop into the next one. I was actually getting quite a lot of good leads with Excadrill. It has a lot of play against pretty much everything. Like I said, you can Rock Slide, and this one's actually running. I don't know what the moves are for this, but yeah, I don't know what the counts are for this, so it's pretty hard for me to catch. I don't know when it gets to the move, unfortunately. But this will be a Dragon Claw. Well, like I said, just usually swap into this, and the opponent has so much energy. The opponent just has so much energy. It's doing a ton of damage with these fast moves, and it has a ton of energy. So this is kind of rough in a way. Yeah, so we've only got it down to about half health. We do have a shield advantage, which is kind of nice, but we're going to have to come in with Dragonite here and shield up in order to take it down. Yep, so the opponent finally does swap into their Excadrill, and I always go straight for it, folks. Like I said, these fast moves are doing absolutely nothing, so just go straight for it, why not? Boom! Good night! Sweet dreams! Sweet dreams, and yeah, at this point we can just come back in with Exca and just start spamming off these rock slides. So there should be absolutely no problem right here. Even if the opponent does get to multiple moves, they're on just such low health, we should be able to Dragon Breath down anyway. But of course we do get to the rock slide, and yeah, GG's to the opponent. How many Dragon Tails does it take to actually get to the move? Oh, sorry, they've got a Metagross in the back. I'm celebrating a little bit too early here. I'm celebrating too early, but this is going to be no problem. We get off at just an absolute ton of damage right here, and the opponent farms us down. Now, as I said, the Meteor Mash does about maybe 70% damage to us. And not even. We're still in about 25% health, and we had a little bit of chip on us, so GG's to the opponent right there. Yeah, the Excadrill just puts in so much work against all of the other steel types, against the fairy types. That's why I kind of like to run it on the lead with Dragonite and Gyarados in the back. Now this opponent actually has worse CP than us, so I was super annoyed with myself. I threw off the drill run, the opponent caught it. I'm going to build up just a tiny little bit of energy, and my plan here is just to basically Dragon Claw this right here, and farm it down, and I'll basically try to get off a superpower against the Excadrill, which will come back in. It's got a Rock Slide loaded, and of course we get the Defense Fall, of course. So let's see what the opponent wants to do here. Yeah, they should be coming back in, and they just throw straight away. So at this point I'm like, it's got such low health, there's no point. I've got a little bit of an energy advantage, so I could have came in with Exca, but I'm just happy enough to come in with Gyarados. I'm actually going to no-shield this because I'm again predicting Metagross in the back, but it is a Gyarados, or a Dragonite. We're going to get off this Crunch right here, and that'll put it into a Rock Slide range pretty much. So the opponent's going to throw off what's probably going to be a Dragon Claw right here. Yep, that's absolutely fine. We'll go ahead and throw this Rock Slide. Now this is a little bit tight because the opponent did get a little bit of an energy head start there. So we'll see, does it, yeah, it just about reaches the move before us there. So the opponent should be dry right here. So we should be able to get off 2 Rock Slides in time. Let's see, we get off Rock Slide number 1. Like I said, it'll take it 12 Dragon Breaths to get there. So the opponent swaps in their Excadrill. And if you remember, whenever they swapped in, we actually went for a Crunch. So we misaligned the timers. So the opponent took advantage of that perfectly. And that was their win condition. And yeah, basically they're able to farm us down right there. Well played by the opponent. And that sort of goes to show you, like, swapping out immediately is really important sometimes. You know, sometimes it's good to get off the move. In that case, I think getting off that Crunch, my sort of thinking was it should put it into a Rock Slide range. And of course, if you get the debuff, that's amazing. In that case, it cost us the match, and very well played by the opponent there. They recognized that the timers were misaligned, and I think my only play there was to try and farm down the Exca, but that was not possible, unfortunately. It might have turned out that the opponent won the match anyway, it is really hard to say, but good games to the opponent nonetheless. I think that's an argument right there for running Outrage and Gyarados if you're running the setup of Waterfall, because it'll give you that little bit of extra coverage, because of course it gets dominated so hard by Dragonite. That's the reason to run Outrage. So maybe Aqua Tail Outrage would be the play. But hopping into this next match, we've got Garchomp here. This is a pretty neutral matchup right here. We do get a shield advantage, so I'm happy enough with that. We can come in and go for the farm down. I do not want to eat an Outrage, but yeah, of course it's the Sand Tomb. Again, that might not have even been enough, but I just don't really know the counts that well. In comes Rhyperior, and we swap into Excadrill. We actually do let the opponent get a ton of energy here. Of course, we you know, we'll be able to like farm it down or go for a drill run. And the opponent does no Surf. Rhyperior is a bit of a funny one. It no Surf as well. The opponent comes back in with the Garchomp, with no shields left, so we're just gonna get absolutely destroyed by this. I probably just should have overfarmed a little bit more here, because I don't know obviously what they've got in the back. And in comes the Tyranitar, so probably a community day Tyranitar. And yeah, we're not gonna be able to do anything on this. GG's to the opponent. I'm not sure if I completely misplayed that, or maybe it was just a tough matchup for me, but yeah, very well played to the opponent. And that's 2 losses in a row. Can we make a bit of a comeback here? Let's see what happens. So in comes Mamoswine. This is an okay matchup right here. The Avalanche does an absolute ton of damage, and they catch again. They catch again, folks. Excadrill is so easy to predict, so They get to their Avalanche in 6, and we farm up a little bit more, and we'll come in with our Dragonite. Now, of course, I do have to be cognizant of the outrage that we talked about quite a lot. I'm just letting this go anyway. Yeah, it is a crunch, thankfully. Maybe that was not even enough for an outrage anyway. But in comes their Mamoswine. I'm actually going to shield this up and go for superpower, try to get some shields off the opponent. Excadrill is so spammy that usually having shields down is an advantage for it. So we almost one-shot it and we get the farm down as well. Can we get off a move? No, we just swap straight out to Gyarados right here. And they've got a Metagross, so we can get off a crunch or two here. We don't really have to shield anything. We'll just save everything for the Excadrill. The opponent is basically forced to shield us up, and this just puts us in a perfect position to win this match. No matter what happens here, we're going to outpace. Like, I probably could have just shielded this up and won with the Gyarados. It's not really going to make much of a difference what I do here. But I actually could have got off with that Aqua Tail, but I wasn't even expecting to live that. So we can just farm down at this point. We don't even have to throw a move. And yeah, that's going to be an easy one. So yeah, it's just really about getting the alignment with Excadrill. I feel like, you know, it's kind of like a double flyer. It's like steel double flyer almost this team. You want to keep your Excadrill for any potential Charmers and Metagrosses in the back. If you get a positive lead, obviously you can like go for Rock Slides on the flying types, being you know, Togekiss right here, Dragonite or Gyarados. And then comes our Gyarados with Waterfall. So at this point we come in with our Dragonite. Sorry guys, I'm still a little bit sick. I'm sure you can probably tell by my voice. I'm like a little bit congested here. But the opponent's going to go for a crunch right here. We can just, it's not even a crunch, it's an Aqua Tail. I think we're going to shield that up. Like, there's absolutely no reason for me to shield. The Togekiss is going to come in and absolutely eat my my Dragonite. So I'm happy enough here. I can get off a Dragon Claw, which should maybe just about put it into Rock Slide range. No, actually, it doesn't even. It does basically no damage to this thing. The opponent swaps out to the Swampert. So at this point, I realized that, yeah, this is an easy win right here. I actually started seeing a couple of Swamperts. You're going to see here, which is kind of weird. Like, I'm seeing some very different Pokemon today. It's sometimes so weird how you just, like, don't see a Pokemon that often, and then suddenly you just start seeing it back to back. I believe in this next match we see a Swampert as well. And obviously at the start of the video, we were seeing a couple of Machamps and everything. It is so funny how that works sometimes. You don't see a Pokemon for like 20 matches, and then suddenly you see it, or you start running a Pokemon and then suddenly you start seeing it. It's weird how GBL goes sometimes. But right here we can get off this Aqua Tail, and this will definitely be Rock Slide range now. We'll just go straight for this Rock Slide after 4, maintaining sort of discipline and throwing in good timing. Of course the Flamethrower will eat, so we have no reason not to shield here basically. We can go ahead and just shield it up, and we can even overfarm just a little bit, and maybe get off a move on the Swampert. But in any case, it's just all completely unnecessary here. The Swampert is super low, and GG's to the opponent. So we're currently 2 here. We've got 2 wins. I think we lost the first one in the set, so we're going to have to win the last 2 to try and get a very good positive set. And let's see what we've got. Another Swampert, wow. Another Swampert, so I guess it's just Swampert season. We're going to go for a catching Gyarados or on Dragonite, but the opponent doesn't throw, and they decide to bank the energy. I can't remember, like watching it's quite difficult. What was that, like 10 that they got up to? And we just absolutely destroy the Excadrill, good night. And they come in with their own Dragonite. They can completely farm us down, but at the very least we're able to get off a Dragon Claw, which will force a shield from the opponent, which is nice. They've got an absolute ton of energy, so this is dangerous. We're going to go straight for the Rock Slide to try and get another shield off the opponent. We do get it, and the opponent can go for back-to-back right here. So let's see what the opponent wants to do. They go for the superpower. I end up letting it go, which is not the correct play. I've got 2 shields, I've no need to do this. And, you know, as you guys have seen earlier, like, yeah, it's a little bit tough. The Swampert comes back in. It is a little bit tough to beat Dragonite with Gyarados. The Swampert comes back in, and, you know, it's so spammy that these Hydro Cannons start adding up after a while. So, like, we're almost forced to shield a Hydro Cannon in the end here, because this thing just spams off Hydros like crazy. Yeah, look at that, like, it just gets to the move so quickly. With all the move buffs and updates and stuff coming, do you guys think Hydro will get a nerf? Let me know. But I think we had enough in the bank there to take that out anyway. So I couldn't really let that last Hydro go because it would put me into farm down range. So GG's to the opponent. And it's another Swampert, ladies and gents. 3 in a row right here. What is going on? What is going on? We're going to go for the catch again here, and yeah, the opponent swaps out. They store a Hydro. We get a little bit of an energy head start, so that is quite advantageous for us here. The opponent shields that up, and they've got a CP advantage here, and I think we can shield this up and go for a second one. See what the opponent wants to do. Yes, we'll go for the second one right here. Will they shield it or will they go for switch? Okay, they let it go, which is fantastic. And in comes Chestnut. And look at this, look at this. This thing cannot farm Dragonite down, folks. I repeat, Chestnut cannot farm Dragonite down. I'm almost getting to the second Dragon Claw right here, and the thing's already in like 30% damage, and I'm just going to go straight for the drill run. The opponent must just be so unhappy here. I tried to swap out and actually catch something as well. So at this point I'm like, okay, I'm just going to let this go. It is actually a Frenzy plant, and I guess they were going for a Superpower right here. I ended up shielding a Superpower, which is kind of annoying, but Swampert is no match for Gyarados anyway. Especially Shadow Swampert. We're just doing so much damage with these waterfalls. But as you can see, I think about 3 Hydros would take us out. So again, like, this is just not that easy. Shadow Swampert just puts in the work. We're trying our best to throw with good timing here as well to maximize energy. The opponent shields it up. Can we get to another one? The opponent gets to another Hydro. Now, can we survive this Hydro Cannon? Yes, we do. Just about. Just about. With a hope and a dream, we survive the Hydro. And we'll just swap back in here. And this is actually a little bit sketch. The opponent is dry because they threw obviously a Frenzy and a Superpower, but they were getting pretty close to a move again. But I think either way, I think actually they might have won that match if they had the farm down, because they have a 2-turn move into our 3-turn move. And yeah, they might have actually farmed down our Gyarados. So we needed to get the farm down right there. And of course we get a Noibat. Of course we get a Noibat. Nobody wants Noibats anymore. And again, that's another Pokemon I hope gets a move update. Imagine Noibat, or Noivern, sorry, with Wing Attack. Or some sort of improvement. That would be fantastic, but fantastic lead right here. This is pretty much where we want to see Tyranitar. Of course, the waterfalls will rip it to shreds as well, and we'll just come in with the Dragonite and the Gyarados right here. The opponent's very, very low. Now, is this an Outrage? Yeah, I think this is enough for an Outrage. I realized that they went in with the farm, and yeah, that's definitely a good play against the Dragonite. I'm sort of learning from my opponents. At the very least, threaten it, and you know, it makes things a little bit more interesting, and it could get a shield off the Dragonite. Yep, there we go. They actually come in and snipe us with their Dragonite, but we know we can outpace here. We've got a Dragonite, or a Gyarados in the back for their Tyranitar, so this looks like it should be fine right here, right? So we'll shield up right here. This should be a Dragon Claw. Oh, it's a Superpower, so the opponent actually knows just to go straight for Superpower. And this is getting sketchy, actually. Can we actually get to the move in time? Let's have a look. This is pretty close. And I catch on the Gyarados right here. So the opponent does just about reach the move, and thankfully we're able to catch it. They finally do come in with their Tyranitar, and they obviously try to get up a little bit of energy before they leave. Can we get this full farm down? This opponent does so much damage with these smackdowns. And can we survive a Stone Edge here? Just about, just about. And we're able to get off the Rock Slide, and that's a good game to the opponent. Definitely a very necessary catch. I feel like sometimes catching is just a little bit fancy and a little bit for show, and I actually beat somebody today who done an unnecessary catch, and they're just trying to be a little bit too fancy. Sometimes you do need to make the catches, and that was one of them situations where the opponent was just outpacing us, and we managed to catch it on the Gyarados, and that actually won us the match. GG's to the opponent, and once again we get a nice Togekiss lead. Will the opponent swap out? Of course. They swap into Conkeldurr. Now this is my first time seeing Conkeldurr, so it's quite an interesting match. I believe this thing knows Stone Edge, so I do have to be a little bit careful of that. At this point, I'm like, okay, I don't want to shield anything on this because it's going to get charmed down. I just need to get this Dragon Claw off, but I actually managed to get the farm down, which is fantastic. And of course, Togekiss can come back in. Oh, it's actually Excadrill that comes in. I was expecting Togekiss to come in. They come in with their Exca. At this point, I'm like, yep, this is a win. We're going to wait down the clock and come in with Gyarados right here, and the opponent's like, oh well. Oh dear. The opponent made the best possible move there on top left, and top left, and GG's. Yeah, just very bad alignment for the opponent there. We were a little bit lucky. We just about got the farm down. If the opponent got alignment there, that could have been a big problem for us, unfortunately. But yeah, we got the alignment, and that won the match. So this is an interesting one. Oh, I'm actually going to skip this battle. The opponent, this was super laggy. I was lagging, the opponent was lagging. The opponent ended up lagging out. I end up losing this because I lag out, unfortunately, so GG, I guess. The opponent actually has a CP advantage here, so we need to make a catch. We do make the catch. And I was thinking, I think this is probably a good idea. If you know that you're going to win CMP, throw the Rock Slide. Is the opponent getting lag here as well? Like, what's going on exactly? We do get off this Superpower on the opponent. Yeah, just getting an absolute ton of lag here. Not sure what's going on. I guess too many people were playing, I don't know. Niantic will be like, you guys need to stop playing GBL at the same time. I'm only messing around, but yeah, do we even win this match? It'll be interesting to see. The opponent gets off the rock slide, I've debuffed myself, and yeah, I'm happy enough just to let this go at this point. We come in with Gyarados here. Yeah, so this is good old go battle lag for you, but it's actually working to my advantage here. What does the opponent come in with? They come in with their own Gyarados, and yeah, they're not even attacking. Do I just farm this all the way down? Okay, so this whole battle was go battle lag, so ended up going 3-2 in that set. I'm not sure if I necessarily would have won those matches, but definitely really happy with this team. We got a 75% win rate. You guys could be like, oh, this shouldn't count. Well, if you guys don't want to count this set, it was 80%, okay, so we're going to say 75% here. Definitely had some matches where the opponents outplayed me, and I got some pretty bad alignment in certain cases. And here's a nice little Farfetch'd for you, for those of you who are not in Japan. A nice little Froakie here. This thing's getting angry at me because I'm not hitting excellent throws, or not even able to hit it, but good games, guys. As you can see, I'm just added Admiral right there, so if you guys want to be like Admiral, feel free to add me as a friend. Here's Excadrill. Definitely an absolute tank in this game. Like the video, subscribe, and I hope you guys enjoyed, man. Keep an eye out tomorrow. I've got a really good couple of teams in mind for the Hoenn Cup, so you know, be sure to stick around and check those out. Hope you enjoyed the long video. Have a fantastic rest of your day, everybody, and I'll catch you guys tomorrow for a brand new video.